Hi guys, Hi here from the Art Gear Guide. Thanks so much for joining me today. I've been often asked to do these types of videos to give my kind of like top five budget pencils or top five artist grade pencils, whatever it is, and I've always kind of like shied away from it. And the reason why is because my top five, the top five pencils I think in either of those categories may not be the exact, the top five pencils that you would use. And so sometimes when I've looked at other videos that are in this area, it creates bickering and arguments within the comments section, which is something that I don't really want. But anyway, regardless, I do get a lot of requests for it, so I've decided that I'm going to do a few videos. This one here is the top budget pencils, and I know that term as well. Budget is it has different meaning to different people. My budget is completely different to somebody who's incredibly wealthy, and my budget is completely different to somebody that's got a lot less money than we do, and so forth. So I know it's a very, very loose term, but I'll try my best to explain what I mean by it. And with the top five budget pencils that I've selected, I've looked at like the biggest sets that they have and tried to keep them within around about a £30 mark, so less than £1 per pencil. So that's what I've kind of like gone for. And later on down the line, when I do like the my top five artist grade and all the rest, again I'll go into it and I'll explain that. So by all means as well, in the comments section down below, after you've seen this list and you've weighed up what you think of it, leave your top five down below. Let me know what your top five are and the reasons why. And that's what I'll be doing in this video as well. The top five pencils that I believe in the budget range. I'll explain why I think they are in that top five, and also as well I'll have links to the actual reviews that I've done of these pencils. And that's something as well that you got to bear in mind when I'm doing this top five thing. It's the top five pencils that I've reviewed, so there may be another set of pencils out there that might knock one of these off the top five, but for now this is my top five out of all the pencils that I've reviewed thus far. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to start at number five and work our way all the way up to number one. So starting off at number five, I've got the Brutfuner square color pencils. Now this is a 120 set, and I was really kind of like debating whether to put the Brutfuner in or the Muji, the Japanese pencils that come in like those little round barrels. But I forgot when I was looking through my review that they're like £60 for a 60 set. So I didn't want to go up that high, although they are really nice pencils. So I decided instead to go for the Brutfuner Square. It's a 120 set. Now for all the prices, they'll be over on the written review as always, because I can change the prices as and when they change on Amazon. But you'll get a gist of all the prices over there. There's a 120 set. 3.3mm core, 7.2mm barrel. The only issue I had with these pencils was the sharpening of the barrel, because they were a square barrel. Even when I put them into the hand crank sharpeners or anything like that, still caused a little bit of bother. So there was a little bit of perseverance with sharpening, but once you got them sharpened, like initially sharpened, from that point on it was easier to just continue sharpening them. Really well pigmented pencils. I used them on Bristol Vellum mixed media paper, very heavily pigmented as well. And also, so a lot of the pencils you're going to see in this type of review or this type of list don't have any light fast ratings, and so therefore that they're really good for adult colouring book artists, mixed media artists, marker artists, and then coming in on top with the coloured pencils to add some detailed pigment, that type of thing. And the Brutfuner Square coloured pencils are really, really nice, and like I said, really reasonably well priced as well for a 120 set. Next, coming in at number 4 is the Giotto di Natra. Now they are from the Fila brand or Lyra. So I actually love these pencils. The only reason I've kept them in at number 4 is because they only come in at a 36 set. So if they had a much bigger set, I would have brought them up into number 2, maybe possibly even number 1, because the actual core of these pencils is really nice and creamy. They layer really well. They're excellent for mixed media paper. They're also excellent on Bristol Smooth, Bristol Vellum, that type of paper. And again, another really nice paper or pencil for adult colouring books. But like I say, number 4 only because they are a 36 set and not anything higher. Coming in at number 3 is the Black Widow range. Now, their range in their entirety. So the Black Widow, the Scorpion, the Cobra, the Dragon, the Monarch, and then the skin pencils that they have as well. I've bundled them all into that because obviously, although they're sold in separate tins like 24 and stuff like this, the Cobra, the Scorpion, and the Black Widow are 24. I think the Dragon's 48 or something like, or the Monarch's 48, and then the skin is 212s. It is a collection, and if you have the collection in its entirety, you have a really nice selection of colours. But again, the pencils themselves are really nice and soft, creamy. Now, when I say soft, I'm not talking Prismacolor soft here, but they are a soft cored pencil. And again, for people who do adult colouring books, excellent. For those who want to do a little bit of mixed media work with them, crafters, that type of stuff. Again, another really excellent pencil. And the wood on the barrels that they've used in the Black Widow, the black wood. So a lot of people like that, and they've got some really nice quirky names for the colours as well. So I've brought the Black Widow in at number 3. Number 2 is the Brunswick Expression. Now, I love these pencils. I got the 72 set. It's the biggest set in that particular range. So again, it's a really nice, the Brunswick Expression is a really nice chunky pencil. It's a hexagonal barrel. It's 7.6mm barrel with a 3.3mm core. It's really heavily pigmented as well. And again, as with all of the pencils in this list, they are perfect for adult colouring book work, just like your own type of artwork. The best way of describing these types of pencils in this top 5 list is they're well pigmented pencils. They're pretty much going to layer and blend on any type of paper, whether it's like a Bristol Smooth, Bristol Vellum, or a mixed media paper. And also as well, I mean, bearing in mind, although they don't have any light fast ratings, which is the reason why they are so inexpensive, relatively speaking, in terms of other pencils that are out there on the market. Don't let the light fast thing get you down or anything like that, because unless you are selling your original work, light fast pencils are not that important. Obviously, they're incredibly important if you're going to be selling your own artwork, your individual artwork, your original artwork. But when it comes to selling prints and stuff like that, there's many ways of getting around not using light fast pencils. So it's worth bearing that in mind. The pencils in this list as well, before we get into number 1, are pencils that I would recommend to somebody coming into the colour pencil medium, not really ever using them before. All the pencils in this list are pencils that you're not really going to have to work hard at. So in other words, the pigment levels are there. You're going to get immediate results with them. And like I said, they pretty much layer and blend right across all the different papers that you would use on a budget range pencil. Like I say, mixed medium, Bristol Vellum, Bristol Smooth, and then into any of the adult colouring books. And so number 1 here, I've got the Faber-Castell Classic Red. Now this is out of all of the pencils that I've mentioned here, this is by far the cheapest set. And when you go across, if you go across to the written review, you'll see just how inexpensive this set is for a set of 60. Again, really heavily pigmented pencils. I mean, you wouldn't expect anything different from Faber-Castell. They produce excellent quality art supplies for the most part. It's a 3 millimeter core and a 7 millimeter hexagonal barrel, so it's quite a slim pencil. And when you get the pencils as well, just out of the box, they've obviously used a cheaper grade wood for the barrel, which is fine. You'll see that when you get them straight out of the box. They look like they're splintered at the top, that they're fraying and stuff like that. But once you sharpen it, it's fine. And like I say, the pigment levels are excellent. Also, as well, if you want to see the individual reviews of all of these pencils, especially to see what these pencils look like on black paper, because that's another big thing that I know a lot of artists are interested in, using these pencils or any pencils on like black paper, tan paper and grey paper. The pencils that I've mentioned in this list work beautifully on all those types of papers as well, especially the Faber-Castell Classic Red. Like I said, 60 is the largest set that they come in, so it's a good number of pencils for somebody just starting out in coloured pencils to start off with. They also work well on top of marker, because I do a lot of marker art, but then I'll come back in with coloured pencil on top of the marker, just for like finer bits of detail, that type of thing, adding a little bit of texture to it. I've seen a lot of manga artists or anime artists use the Faber-Castell Classic. Very, very inexpensive, but really heavily pigmented pencils and really gorgeous to use. Okay, so that's my top 5 budget list for coloured pencils, just coloured pencils. Like I say, I will do other lists like watercolour pencils, that type of thing, pastel pencils, my top 5 of those later on down the line. And I will do, the next list I'll do will be kind of like my top 5 artist grade and then artist quality coloured pencils, which I'll explain the difference later on if you're not aware. But so just to summarise there, so the Brutfuner Square number 5, then the Giotto di Natra, whatever the pronunciation is for that, the Lyra pencils, beautiful pencils. Just the only reason they weren't higher up is just because they've only got a 36 set, and I just wish that they would come out with a larger set. I think somebody texted me not that long ago, said that they had brought out like a skin tone set in that range, but I haven't seen them yet, in which case it would bump it up a little bit, but still nowhere near where I think these pencils should be. They're really beautiful pencils. Then third is the Black Widow. Number 2 is the Brunswick Expression pencil, really nice pencil as well. And then number 1 for me is the Faber-Castell Classic Red. Don't forget, in the comment section down below, let me know what your top 5 budget range pencils are. Pencils that you've used and that you've got experience of. That would be really good to know what everybody else thinks. And also as well, I get a lot of people telling me I've got to say this at the end of my videos, because I never do, but if you are not already subscribed to the channel, subscribe to it and give a thumbs up if you like the channel, if it's helped you out or anything like that. Also, YouTube have just done another thing. They've added this little icon right down at the bottom. It's like a little heart, and it says thank you or something on it. It allows you to support different channels. Obviously, if you click on the heart underneath my videos, it'll allow you to make a small donation. You can put in whatever value you want, but they've also got set ones set up, like $2, $5, $10 and $15. But like I say, you can put your own value in, and when you do that, it'll also give you the option of leaving a comment. And if you do leave a comment after making that donation, your comment gets highlighted, and so it's easier to find than all the other comments that are left, and you'll see what I mean if you click on the heart. It's just something YouTube have rolled out just to help content creators and like their subscribers support different content creators. So if you want to do that, by all means do so. If not, please don't feel pressured at all. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. Bye.